Excuse me. All right. Just adjust this. Oops. Okay. Let's get started. Let's pick our leader. Who should we play as? Germany is like one of my favorites. Might do Germany. The Celts are fun. Gandhi's pretty fun. Let's think. What should we play? Japan is also pretty fun. Kind of want to do the Incas and do like a mountainous map or something. Let's do do warlord difficulty. We'll get started.
O ye who remakes the world, your loyal subjects greet you, King Pachacuti. You rule the Inca people. From their beginnings in the small state of Cusco, the Incas displayed their potential for greatness, marching to...
Check the resolution. Oh well. So we're playing as the Incas. Their passive is the units can pass over hills and mountains, I think instantly or without any penalty. Says my stream health isn't great. If anyone is watching and if you're experiencing any like frame drops, you can just let me know. Guess we can build our city here. All right. We'll go down here. I think we have animals, we have some incense. I think we want to do animal husbandry first. Pretty sure. I don't do these streams very often. This is like the second one. I had one up earlier that was actually an accident. Hey Jake, this is Civ 5. It's a strategy game. It's one of my favorites to play. But I don't stream very often. This is the second one, as I was saying. Figured it might be fun. I don't know, I might do it for an hour or two. We'll see. How you doing, Jake? Gotta go discover those ruins. I'm good. Good. Just relaxing. Got today off because it's Memorial Day in the U.S. So it's pretty nice. Had a very busy weekend, so it's nice to be able to relax a little bit. How about you? What are you up to tonight? Or this morning, wherever you are. Got some gold. It's good. Alright. It's really hot where you are. Yeah, it's been kind of hot where I live. I'm from the Northeast. Where do you live? Or what area? Excuse me. Definitely need to scout next. California, nice. I don't know if you. I think you watch my channel regularly. I recognize you. Um, but the next state geography video I want to make is going to be California, so you should definitely check that out. I think it should be out next week, maybe. Seems like a lot of people like that series. So, um,
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox.
so next we need either trapping or pottery. Um, no, we need archery, so we can get our slingers. That's awesome. Thank you. It's probably my favorite to make, and they're definitely the most successful videos. And I usually will make videos based on the views. So if people like something, I will make more of it. So yeah, I like that series a lot. Um, so Cali will be next. I think Florida after that. I'm trying to do like the big states first. So we need probably Liberty. And guess we can do a worker. I definitely recognize you, by the way. I recognize that picture. So thank you for commenting and supporting me and all that stuff. That's great. Go down this way. So yeah, if anyone watching, if you could tell me how the stream's doing. It says that I don't know if I'm dropping frames or not, but it says that it's not like optimal right now, so hopefully it's not too bad. Don't want any drop frames. I'll stream on Twitch sometimes. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy them. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I've had the channel for like 3-4 years, so I think the last 6 months or so I've really been trying to get content out like fairly regularly. I think I've got a good like weekly schedule now, which I like. I've been sticking to the geography stuff mostly because those tend to get the most views, and like I said, that's how I organize my channel. You know, if people are watching the geography ones, then that's what I'll make. Although yes, I think yeah, yesterday I uploaded a video just talking about a random painting, and that was really fun. And that was kind of like one that I really wanted to try, and I might do more. But I could do an ASMR stream too. I feel kind of weird doing it live, but I could do that. Um, I'm so used to just like recording in my own little space, by myself. So I feel weird just like whispering to people live. Um, but yeah, I could try it. Nice. Okay. I think we'll do. Do we want a worker or do we want more production? We'll do the worker. So yeah, if anyone's watching, they have like questions or video suggestions, whatever, I'm open to do any of that. Alright, so I think we need trapping now. Oh, I mean, didn't mean to do that. Trapping. But yeah, this game is pretty fun. It's just a strategy game. You start off as a civilization. You begin like 4000 BC or something, and each turn you go forward in time, and you have to basically design how you want your civilization to be over time. So if you have there are like early game civs, like this is the Incas, so they are older, so they're an early game civilization, and there are different pathways you can take. You can you can win the game by having the most culture. You can also win by just like dominating people and going to war and taking over countries. You can have a scientific victory, and science is so all the if you see the trapping on the left, that's a science. So if you focus your civ towards that, you can win that way, and then I think that's it. I mean, you might be able to win with just having the most commerce too, or gold. I'm not totally sure, but I know those are the ways that you would win the game. It's a very long game. Takes like each game might take up to like 10 or even up to like 15 hours, which is why I rarely ever finish. I enjoy starting it, playing for a little while, then I get bored. Um, I need to move this worker so that barbarian doesn't take them. Hi, Mr. Turtle. How you doing? The early game in this can be kind of tough because there's a lot of barbarians that you have to fight, those red units, and a lot of times your units are not very strong, so you have to be careful of how you attack them. But then once you kind of get going, it gets a little bit easier. gets more complicated, but the having units helps. That's good. I'm glad. Thanks for stopping by. This is my, let's say, first like official stream. I uploaded one on accident earlier. That was just like a test kind of thing. But I'm actually streaming now. And I mentioned this earlier, but this is an ASMR stream, but I'm open to doing questions or just talking about, you know, what kind of ASMR videos you guys like. It's open for anything. Do we not have a... We do have a scout, right? Let's get a slinger. Actually, Temple of Artemis might be good, because that helps range units, and that's what I want to focus on. Yeah, let's do that. This guy's hurting. I need to heal him up. Let's go there. I do have a scout. I thought so. Put a farm there. Think I should be safe if I heal here. Hopefully I don't die. Could have gone with tradition, but I kind of want to have a big empire, and tradition is for small empires. So I'm going to stick with liberty for my policies. Ugh. How's everyone's weekend been? Do people have Memorial Day off? I had it off today, which is really, really nice. The best part is it just makes the week after this, or this week coming up, a shorter week, which is the best, you know. The day off is great, but I just love having a short week. Makes it a lot easier. We don't want to fight him, so we'll walk that way. We'll just sleep here and then do the next turn. You have finals next week? Good luck. What finals do you have, Jake?
Even brute beasts and wandering.
So I think we want to have pottery now. Thankfully, I don't go to school anymore. I'm done. I have my bachelor's. I want to go back to get my master's, but I'm kind of putting it off. I really don't want to go back to school, so just kind of waiting until I feel like it's the right time. You have math, biology, English, basically everything for high school. Oh, so you're in high school. Well, good luck. Hope you do well. Study hard. Break is on its way. I cannot help you with math, cannot help you with biology. I could help you a little bit with English. That's one of my was one of my better subjects. I was a psychology major in college, so I'm much more on the um, like creative side. I'm not really like logical. I'm definitely psychology is my was perfect for me. So once we get our next policy, we'll be able to found another city, which will be huge. Um, just get more stuff. I also haven't found any countries yet, or civs. What's the name of this game? It's called Civilization 5. It's a strategy game. It's super fun. It's a very long game. Like one game can take out like 10, 15 hours. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm probably going to be streaming for an hour, 2 hours, depending on how I feel. Um, and I am playing as the Incas right now. There's like 30 or 40 different. I think there's like 30 different civs you can play as. It's really fun. I would recommend it. And it's not too expensive to buy. It's probably this one Civ 5 is probably $10 or so on Steam. So we've met the Mongols. One of the rules in this game is you never try to make friends with the Mongols because they will betray you, like every time. You just don't want to be friends with them. I think I need mining next. Yep. Mining. Okay. So anyone who's watching, do you guys have a favorite video or a favorite series? Or do you have like a favorite type of, yeah, Sid Meier's, that's right. Hi, MMM Rage Mantis, how you doing? Or a favorite type of ASMR, I guess, would be my question to you guys. Because even though this isn't an ASMR stream, it would be cool to talk about it because I love ASMR in general. And I guess to tell you guys how I started my channel, I was watching ASMR for like years and years before, and I found another friend who watched it, and he had a channel which he doesn't use anymore, and he was like, "Oh, you should try it out," you know. And I just made a couple videos and really liked it. So, and it's growing. It's growing a good amount. I think I have I've gotten like 600, 700 subscribers this year, maybe more than that. Actually, way more than that. Like 800 in just this year, which is like more than half of my subscribers. So that's awesome. Gotta finish this farm. Probably should heal up before we attack that garrison. Or whatever it's called. Camp. Geography quizzes, state map geography. So, the geography videos, I get it. I love those too. I discovered ASM Arctica before I think, no, it was after I started making my channel. But once I discovered him, and then Aussie ASMR, and Tingles with Flyby, I love that they were doing math videos, and so I wanted to try it, and it's become like a hit with people, it seems. So you love the U.S. states and psychology videos. Awesome. I love psychology. I was just talking about it. I don't know if you were here. I was a psychology major, so I love talking about it. Um, I just, well, I think 2 weeks ago, I did the second psychology podcast, and it was awesome. It was really fun for me to do. Um, I did it on Erickson's stages of psychosocial development, which is something that I learned in social psychology. Um, so that's cool. I'm glad people like the psychology ones because that's definitely my strongest area of knowledge. So that's awesome, man. Good for you. It's it's really fun. It's not too hard. The only math you have to do is stats. You have to. I had to take 3 stats courses, and I actually loved it. You're going next year. Cool. Are you in high school now, or are you just deciding to go to school now, like college? Got 30 faith. That's always good. It's what do you think about Ephemeral Rift's Carl Jung videos? I have seen that. I'm only familiar with one of them, and it was he was reading Carl Jung's Red Book. Um, I liked it. I think Carl Jung's very interesting. I think I said this in my last podcast. A lot of the trouble with early psychologists is that they did a lot of observational studies, so it's not super like quantitative. It's more qualitative, which means that they would just use like observation and not like actually experiment. So Carl Jung had some great theories, and so did of course I can't even think of his name, and he's like the most popular psychologist. Drawing a blank. Freud, sorry. Um, I don't know. They're you kind of have to take their theories with a grain of salt. Of course, they've been expanded upon since then, and there's been a lot of experiments that have proven some of their ideas and disproven others. But yeah, he's a good psychologist. I haven't seen that video in forever, but I do remember it. And I have to say, I took some philosophy too, and um, oh, Ireland, okay. So what would you call that school in Ireland? Because yeah, for us, high school is just what you take before college or university. Oh yeah, I was talking about philosophy. So I took some philosophy in college. I liked it, but I'm very much someone who um, I like facts, and philosophy is all like qualitative. So it's all just like, oh, this it's cool to think of things in this way. This is how I feel about this. But when it comes to like finding the truth in things and finding like real knowledge, I tend towards like psychology and experimentation, the scientific method. Um, but I think philosophy is important. It's just kind of like a jumping off point, and you need to be able to back it up with other like sciences. So when will I upload my next geography quiz video? I just did one a couple days ago, I think. Maybe a week now or so. I can do another one pretty soon. I have been using the website GeoGuessr a lot, and I used to use Cetera.com. I might go back to that one eventually. I did get a request from someone to do like South America quizzes, so maybe I'll do that. Um, but I try to space out different types of videos because I don't want to have like 5 states in a row for the geography state map series. I know some people would probably like that, but yeah. So maybe a couple weeks, Mr. Turtle. 2 or 3 weeks, I can do another secondary. So it's from 13 to 18. Okay. Yep, we would definitely call that high school. Well, I hope you enjoy university. It's freshman year is a very exciting time to be in college. Um, I remember when I went my freshman year, I was like terrified, but then within the first week, I met a bunch of really cool people and got adjusted pretty easily. So, um, I don't know what your situation is, but you know, it's a good time. So I need to found a pantheon. I think there's one that gives you something for being on hills, I believe. Um, Pantheon is for like religion in this game. Culture from plantations. You're going to uni in September? Awesome. Hi Joe, how you doing? Everyone's going off to school. Good. It's good. Good thing to do. You definitely need it if you want to get a good job and, make some money. It's important. Trying to figure out what pantheon I should choose. Gold and silver. I do have gold. Let's let's do this one. Religious idols. It's very different, tiny country compared to the U.S. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. See, it's interesting. I would think that maybe just the UK, they would have less schools but bigger schools um, than the U.S. Because I mean, the U.S. is huge, so there's colleges all over the place. But for some reason, I would imagine um, the UK would have like because you always hear about like Oxford and all those different universities there. Um, but I could be wrong. I went to a small school. My undergrad was 4,800, and I think there were about 3,000 graduate students, maybe 2,000. So that's pretty small for U.S. That's really small. It was a state school, but got a lot of scholarships. My loans are paid off, which is awesome. I'm only 26. My loans are paid off, so that's pretty rare, and I love that. You went to tour UCLA over spring break. That's awesome. Would you want to go there, or you just taking a look, Jake? Got our Temple of Artemis. This is good. I would have, I wouldn't have mind a big school. I tend to enjoy the bigger classes with lectures. I like the smaller classes too, but I really learn the best by listening, and I feel like bigger schools are more lecture based, so I kind of like that. Also, there's just more options for what you can study at big schools. That's really important. Ireland isn't UK. Yeah, I know. You go to college for free for the first course you take. Really? Just the first course? I mean, that's awesome. That's really cool. Um, you're in the UK. It's probably fewer and older established universities, but in 1992, the government declared a lot of newer colleges to be universities as well. That's good. I mean, more options is always good. Because there are some people who want to specialize in different things, and schools offer, lots of different majors. So that's cool. There's a school in my state that just started the first Holocaust studies major in the country, which is really cool. But like, how many classes can you take on that? Like, I can't imagine that you can form a really good uh, course schedule, whatever, for studying the Holocaust. It's really a specific major. Um, Hi Emily, how you doing? Uni is great. So sad to be finishing my master's in chemistry in 3 weeks. Awesome, good for you, master's. That's really cool. So do you have a job lined up? Do you know what you're going to be doing? I love chemistry. I've never been a science person, but I love to. I don't know. I like to kind of dabble in science, I guess, but I'm really bad with math. But chemistry is really cool, very interesting. Let's get a shrine here. I think we want to do calendar next. We don't need sailing. Um, just a look. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest, with a whole city in one college. I can imagine. Yeah, UCLA I'm sure is huge. I would guess, USC is probably very big as well. Um, so, it's just kind of like what you like. If you like being around all those people, if you like big classes, or if you have a very specific major that only UCLA offers, that's good. But you also, when I was looking for schools, I really wanted to go to this one in Vermont called Champlain, and it was beautiful. I loved it there. It was where I wanted to go, and then they didn't give me any money, and it was real expensive. And so I went to this other school, which was in my home state of New Hampshire, and they gave me a bunch of money, and it was super cheap, and it wasn't as good of a school like on paper, but I didn't care, So to me, and this is me at 26, having all my loans paid off, I'm so much happier that I chose to go to the state school and pay less money than to go to the bigger one. But it all depends on what you want to do for work, what you want to specialize in. But it's a tough decision. And when I was 18, you know, and I'm sure you're probably going through this too, it's tough to make that decision. Like, what do I want to major in? What type of school do I want to go to? What do I want to do for work? Um, it's a little unfair that all that's forced on you at such a young age, but it's just kind of how it is. Um, 4 years for bachelor in psychology will be for free. That's amazing. Lucky. Excluding entry fee, 2 grand a year. Then for PhD will be another three, which will cost 13,000 a year. 13,000 is not bad. I mean, you're saving a lot of money, like by getting it for free. So that's awesome. Um, you don't have anything, but you're looking for something in the chemistry field, maybe a PhD. So you want to keep going. That's cool. I feel like that makes sense for chemistry to go in your PhD. Um, that's cool though. Good for you. Awesome. You have 9,250 to pay off for your loans. Probably over 12,000. That's good, Joe. That's really good. I know people who are over 100K in debt. It's crazy. Um, yeah, out-of-state tuition is stupid. I It's one of the reasons I didn't go to Vermont either. I don't think it makes sense to be charging people that, but of course they want to encourage local people to go to school there. So, I mean, you know, tuition in the U.S. is a joke. It is a joke. There's more like student loan debt than there is housing debt, I think, in this country. I think it's also more than like credit card debt or something like that. I could be just misremembering that, but student loan debt in the U.S. is outrageous. It's like a business. Um, so let's get this gold mine. The most expensive college you get, and it's 80 best in the world, which is good for Ireland, I guess. Yeah, that's great. So you must be a good student if you were able to get into that. That's good. That's good. I was always a pretty good student in school, mainly because my parents were like, "You need to be good because we want you to be successful," and so of course I am very thankful that that they push me. I tend to be a procrastinator, and I will always be, but I've always tried hard in school. I think it's important to do that. I think we need a slinger here. Let's get a settler so we can get another city. Now we need to scope out where we want to put our city. There's a bunch of sheep and stuff down here. A bunch. Wow. I'm seeing a lot of gold, which is good. Gold means, you know, you're set for a while. Probably gonna settle right here. I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, let's do that. Hopefully there's no like secret barbarians hanging out. People complain about 9k over here, but it's paid off so slowly that it's not exactly going to have a huge impact. You only pay off 9% of the amount over. Wait, so 9%. A little confused by that, but yeah, I could see how it's probably a little different in Ireland than here. um, you know, it might just school might not be as expensive over there, but over here it's pretty expensive. It's crazy. College plus med school in some places can set you back around 500,000. So you're yeah, it's stupid. It's almost like they're forcing you to gamble. Um, oh, okay, if you earn 30k, oh, so it's based off what you earn. Wow, that's a good idea. They don't do that here. It doesn't matter what you make. You pay what you have to pay. I mean you can like set up things to defer your payments, but it's a good idea. Yeah. No, I'm not being friends with Genghis Khan. Rule number one, this game, never be friends with the Mongols because they will betray you. Um, I thought we were going to kill them there. The wage gap in Ireland is a lot less. That's good. Yeah. See, so um, there's a lot of like business and stuff in Ireland that people can go into. It'd be 450 because that's 9% difference between 25k and 30k, which is 5,000, so even better. Yeah, that is better. Hmm. Nice. Oh, we got a slinger now. We got two slingers. That's what you want. I think we found the edge of the map over here. We did. That's good. Oh, we might die. I think the archer's gonna kill us here. I think I made a mistake. Oh, I can move away. Awesome. Okay. Wow. Yeah. 55,000. It's a lot. But that's like what I was saying before. It's a gamble. It's like, you know, when you're 18, you're kind of forced to say, I guess, you know, hopefully in 4 years I'm gonna have a good job. If I don't, I'm in a lot of trouble. And then, let's say you don't get the job you want. You say, all right, well, I'll just go to more school so I can get a better degree and get a better job. You're making another gamble. Um, so it's really not. It's not a fair system, but at this, and I'm kind of lean on the belief that education is a right. I think that if you are not educated in this world, you are not going to be able to survive um, in a way that's suitable. You know, if you have a part-time job, you know, and that's what you want to do, that's great, but you're going to struggle. Like, you know, you shouldn't have to struggle. You should be able to live comfortably. I'm not saying that you should have a luxurious life, but I think being educated, being able to have a good job is a right. I really do think that. So for people, especially in the US, to be taken advantage of over something that should be a right for them to have, it's an injustice. It's not right, but it's the way it is, and you just kind of work your way through it. Life is, you know, life is not easy, so you know there's gonna be debt you have to pay. And that's just how it is. Um, all right, so we need to go attack someone here. Mm-mm. It's mainly service, teachers, doctors, some industry. Yeah, that's good. Psychology, it can be tough to find jobs in psychology. I work in social services now, um, and I like it. Of course, it's not great on money, but there's a lot of, you know, you can do research, you can do lots of um, different things. Of course, psychology, if you want to go for your master's and your doctorate in it, that's a really good course to take, but you don't really have to. You can get a good, you know, work in a lab or something doing research. Those jobs are out there. At least here those exist. But you could also you can become a school psychologist if you want to. You know, that's definitely an option as well. Counseling, just become a counselor. Um, there's definitely no guarantee of good jobs. I feel ya. I'm currently looking for a new job right now. I like what I do, but I would like to be able to make a little bit more. Let's do a granary. The jobs with the most demand take 20 years of college to be qualified. Exactly, yeah. And it is true that jobs that used to require a high school diploma now require a bachelor's degree, and the ones that used to require a bachelor's degree now require a master's degree, which means that I think people, especially who only have a bachelor's degree, are put at a huge disadvantage because they have a bunch of debt that they have to pay off, and they're not getting the jobs that they expected. Um, so you're going to be self-employed once you get your degree. What are you going to be doing when you're self-employed? You have a mental health crisis in this country. Really? Yeah, I think. I mean, I could see that. I don't think the U.S. is great with mental health either. Um, love to help people. That's what I'm all about too. To me, that's the point of life. If I'm not helping someone else, then I don't really have a purpose, and I could never. Um, I don't know. I don't think I could ever do anything else. I could. You know, I love science, and I love finding out the truth in things, and I think science would be a very noble thing to go into as well for me. I've always thought about if I had gone that route instead, but I do like to help people. Um, Therapist, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of school, a lot of work, but it would definitely pay off, for sure. I'm really bad at multitasking, so probably going super slow in this game right now. What do I want to do with this worker? Oh, he's going to sleep. Do nothing. Okay. Oh, therapy is what you're gonna do when you're self-employed. Really? Already am to one of my friends. Find the truth for me. Know how the mind works. Okay, so you have friends who are paying you to do like your own private therapy. That's cool. Then you're ahead of the game. This is your favorite game? It's one of my favorites too. I well, there will be periods where just like I just play this nonstop because it's so fun. All right, I think this is good with building stuff. So we'll build our mine. We also need a road. I'm gonna do nothing with him. All right. Okay. So you're just voluntarily doing it?
That we may apply our hut.
That's nice. I think I want writing. Yeah, writing's good to have. Okay. So we'll go for a little bit with this game. Maybe, what time is it? 7? I don't know. Might go for maybe 10, 15 minutes more. I'm not sure. Um, I do have laundry and stuff I have to finish up. So let's do rough terrain. We can heal up. Stonehenge. Let's do a caravan. Okay. That's cool. I mean, that's definitely that's nice to help your friends out doing that kind of stuff. You know, I've dealt with depression. It's not fun. It's very nice to have someone to talk to about that kind of stuff. So that's really nice of you to do. I didn't mean to do that. Golden Age. So kill that guy. Guess we're going north here. Did I finish the plantation? Yeah, we did. Let's get this gold. You enjoy it, gives you purpose, so why not a career if it's possible? Exactly. Do what you love. Do what fulfills you. Um, Helping people is a virtue, and I think living a virtuous life is important. So, yeah. But then that's also not to say, like, you know, let's say someone goes into business and that's what they're passionate about, you know, that's also a virtue, you know, because you're providing a product or a service or something. You're still helping people, um, you know, just in a different way. So, and there's also a line too, like, you know, you wanna help people, of course, but if you're not living comfortably, you're not making money, you know, that's one of the big decisions too you have to make. Do I want to make a lot of money and not really help many people, or do I want to, like, you know, help people but live in a dumpster? So let's do pasture. Exactly. Yeah, and Jake, it's that's totally true. And the annoying thing about it is the jobs that make you the happiest are designed that way by the people who hand out the money. So it's like for social service, for instance, the fact that the most of the people who are in social service are there because they want to help people. Is it's like a carrot on a stick for the grants that come from the federal government. Um, it's almost like whatever they can get away with paying people. So, for instance, in direct support with clients who have mental disabilities, which is what I do, the pay is not good at all, and it's and but people make that sacrifice because they know that's what they want to do is help people, and the organizations who pay them know they can get away with paying them less money. So it's almost like organizations know um, that they have that little that that line that can keep people in a job that pays less because they want to be there. Um, and the jobs that maybe aren't so enjoyable, they get paid more because if they didn't get paid more, then people wouldn't do them. So it's interesting how that dynamic works. Um, you know, it's kind of like it's not a great way to look at it, but that's how it is from my experience. That they will take advantage of workers just because they know they can get away with it. That's kind of also why unions exist, I guess. Altruism is pretty much punished. Yeah, it is. People take advantage of altruism. Organizations do that all the time. It's really pretty messed up. What do we want here? Do we want Stonehenge? Let's go for it. We'll give some food to whatever this is called, Tiwanaku. The U.S. is too big, all that money, and very little accountability. Yeah, accountability is tough to come by when um, a country is so decentralized, right? Because if you have a small country centralized, it's easier to keep accountability, to keep your eyes on everyone. Um, but in the U.S., it's kind of like no holds bar. People can do what they want, um, and yeah, mistakes happen. That's huge. I actually took a course in public administration, which is what I want to get my master's in, and we talk about the difference between um, like decentralized administrative agencies and other ones that are like more centralized. Um, and most places will privatize um, because it's cheaper. But when you are dealing with a government or public administration where you're dealing with the rights of peoples, the sovereignty of a nation, you can't really. There has to be more accountability. There's more at stake when that kind of stuff happens. So it is an issue here. You're right. The U.S. is like almost too big to contain everything that goes on. Um, I probably could have said that a little bit better, but yep. But then there's also like the argument where if you put more restrictions on an organization, it stops their ability to be effective. So if you have like an organization that's offering a service to someone, if you put all this red tape over them, it causes them to lose production, and that's kind of why privatization is encouraged to let companies play by their own rules because they can streamline their own company. They don't have to worry about all these rules and regulations. Whatever they need to do to make as much money as possible um, is better for their company. Um, but when you're dealing with like an entire country, and let's say you're talking about welfare, that's not something that can just be privatized and just made for just profits. You have to have the red tape. So yeah, gun laws. I don't know if we should go go into that. Um, gun laws are, yeah, big issue in the U.S. deregulation, you have lead in the water. Exactly, and that's something that should, I'm sure that the the water companies are kind of organized by the town of Flint. I would assume that the at town meetings they organize that the town government um, would organize the water there. So that's something that you're right should have accountability, regulation, and stuff. Um, I mean, they may privatize the provider of the water, but I would assume that the town itself or the city, whatever, would be the one who organizes it. So what's going to be the next civil war in the U.S.? Let's hope there's not a civil war. That would not be good. I will say this. I can't. Never mind. I'm not going to get into like politics. I was about to say something, but I won't. Never mind. Um, but I hope there's no civil war. That wouldn't be good. I do think that the northern part of the U.S. and the southern part of the U.S. are extremely different. The people are different. I've been in the South. They're different. They, I think they tend to value. They maybe like family. I guess in the South is definitely valued more. Religion is a lot bigger in the South as well. Um, and they're a lot more proud in the South. I think people in the North tend to be a little bit more quiet, or I don't know. They're just not as boisterous, you know. Nationalize, like nationalism. What Mantis? What do you see? I'm curious what you mean. Oh, and Joe, I was gonna say something about Trump, but I'm not gonna do that. Bring people into public ownership. it, it would be way better if the states were their own countries and then the USA would be like the EU. Well, it's interesting you say that because our Constitution is supposed to give most of the power to the states. And that kind of is how it is in some aspects, but in a lot of aspects it isn't. So the Constitution is basically there's certain things that the federal government are supposed to have their hands in, and there are a lot of other things that they're not. But as time went on, it's kind of the federal government has kind of put their grasp all over it, as like more like the New Deal with Roosevelt brought up a lot of federal policies, like welfare and Social Security and a lot of stuff like that, which maybe the founding fathers might not have agreed with. Um, so in a sense, they are their own countries. They do make a lot of their own decisions, but there are some federal things that are kind of just universal. Um, oh, the news, yeah, yeah. The U.S. is it's not in a great spot right now. I wouldn't say that I'm proud of the way our country is at the moment. Um, but we're also a country that's full of news that's very polarizing. With the shootings and stuff, it's terrible. Um, that's why gun laws are super important here, and also comes down to mental health issue. Uh, and I also strongly believe that the media coverage of shootings does encourage more to happen, which is tough because you can't not tell people about these things, but when it's so dramatized and like I don't know, it seems like you're from Ireland, you hear all about gun violence here. Can you imagine a young person who lives here and that's all they're hearing, and maybe they're dealing with mental illness and they're kind of getting fed all this stuff you know. So it encourages more of it to happen. I don't really like that. So I would um, say gun laws are like, you know, clearly the thing that needs to happen, but there's also a lot of social attitudes that need to change, and um, I don't know. I think mental illness is something that needs to be taken more seriously in this country too, or in the world. You know, you go for a physical, and of course it's voluntary. You don't have to go for physicals, and people do go to therapy and stuff. But I think, you know, going to see a psychologist or a therapist should be like going to a physical. Everyone goes to the doctor to see if they're physically healthy. I think the attitude should also be that people should regularly go um, to help their mental state as well. So, um, people aren't proud of the U.S. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm proud of the U.S. right now. Um, but again, I'm you know you can't you can't solve everything. You kind of have to keep living your life. I'm not saying like keep your head down or anything like that and just like ignore it, but you know you gotta keep doing you. You gotta live your life. So I don't know. I think it was like early in my 20s I realized it's not good to like dwell on stuff because that just makes you more upset. It's better to try to move on and um, try to make the best of a bad situation, I guess. So even talking about Trump, people act like he's this aberration rather than a symptom of a decaying society. Yeah, um, you know, I mean, Trump, it could be a lot worse right now. You know, it's not good, but I didn't want to go into Trump at all. But, I do think that we have a lot of issues in this country with our society, and we need to, that need to be fixed. I just kind of hope we make it out of these four, hopefully not eight, but at least the 4 years in one piece, and we can kind of look back and move past this. Maybe use this as a good lesson, a good tool to learn from our mistakes. So, uh, yeah, Mantis, I agree. That's why you want to help those people. Um, exactly. I mean, one of the things is when you experience something yourself and then you see it in another person, it really it like ignites something inside you. So like I said, I've dealt with depression. So when I see if I meet someone else who either tells me or is showing signs of depression, it's like I have this urge to want to help them because I understand it. It's like that empathy thing that just ignites inside of you, and that's why I love going to work every day. I see clients. I mean, first of all my clients are always smiling, which is amazing. I go in on a Monday and I'm like tired, I don't want to do anything, but then I go into work and I see these like all these clients and they're smiling and they're like in the best mood ever, and it cheers me right up. So, it's great. Things could be worse. We have to remember what is good about our country and the world. I agree. Um, I think like globally, things are kind of getting better. The EU is something that I think about a lot. Um, if you look back in time, Europe was always fighting each other. There was, England versus France is like an eternal war, right? From most of history, and now we have, well, UK just got out of the EU, whatever. But the EU is like an amazing feat of human civilization to have a united European Union, which is mostly a financial thing, right? But that's incredible. If you think about it, that's incredible. Um, so I think generally we're moving in the right direction, but we have setbacks. It's kind of like one step forward, two steps, or not two steps back. Two steps forward, one steps back, I guess. Um, What can you? I mean, you can do whatever the best you can do, and that's enough. Whatever you can do is enough. That's what I say. All right. I have not been playing this game like at all. I'm so bad at multitasking. I don't have the wheel yet either. Just discovered the Behringer crater. Next turn. Should watch Eurovision. Is maybe embarrassing myself. Is Eurovision like the European competition where everyone does like their singing and talents and stuff? Is that what that is? I've heard of it. I think. I'm from the U.S. We don't have that. We have American Idol, which I don't watch anymore. The EU is not really something to want to emulate, like Germany and Belgium exploit the hell of Greece and Romania. Really? That's interesting. I would have never known that. I know Greece is not the best financial, economically, but I don't know much else. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard Eurovision, and I think I've also heard that it's like a humongous thing there. Um, I do love the Great British Bake Off, which I know is like apparently it's pretty big in the UK. I love that show. It's really good. Sometimes they show it on PBS here. I think I want to heal up. Man, these slingers are not that great. They don't do like any damage. The winner was singing like a chicken about the Me Too movement. Oh yeah, Me Too. Seems to be a lot of movements going on recently, which is not a bad thing, I guess. Better that people stand up for something than to just be quiet about it, even if it's kind of stupid. Should I get the Great Library and take a risk? Hopefully no one steals it, or should I go for regular? I'll go for the Great Library. Each city you own. I think we want to do... Let's finish up the Liberty Tree. It's over now. I mean, I could probably watch it online somewhere. They definitely wouldn't show it on TV here. I don't even watch TV, really. Anyways. Which is weird, because, like, most of my youth, I watched a lot of TV, and I just don't anymore. Movements are good if they're effective and bring good results, like the teacher strikes in the U.S. They're awesome. I agree. I'm completely a social libertarian. I'm not libertarian as the connotation of uh, the political libertarians. They're more like right wing, which I'm not. But I think anyone should organize about anything they're passionate about, even if you're a Nazi. I don't agree with what you're saying, but I really believe in the First Amendment, and people should just, if they have something they want to say, they should be able to say it. And that's, we're going into a lot of like social issues, but people, they don't take alternate views very well in this country, which was huge in the last election. If you think about it, like Trump versus Hillary, people just got like angry at each other for their viewpoints, which is insane. I mean, can you imagine like, someone saying, if you're just talking about a movie or something, let's say you didn't like it and they loved it, and they say, oh, I love this movie, and you say like, oh, I hate you because you like it and I don't like it, you know. So I think you need to be more respectful. People need to be more respectful of varying viewpoints in this country, and you can debate them and try to prove your point, but you can't get angry at someone for believing something, unless it's hurtful to you or slanderous, something like that. If it's hurtful, if they're damaging you or other people, then of course that's not good. free speech for Nazis just enables them to take power, though. I think I think hate speech is bad if you're a Nazi. Like if you have a Nazis who have a rally and they're saying racist slurs, I wouldn't like that. But if you had someone who was a Nazi who sat down and explained why they um, believe certain things, and they could say it in like a respectful way and not like, obviously you would think of Nazis as being hateful against certain minorities groups, um, and so I wouldn't respect that. But if they were able to, you know explain themselves, I think there's nothing too wrong with that. But I mean, it's tough. It's a tough argument for sure. um, Respect writing, yeah, we'll do that. Allowing racism, sexism, and homophobia isn't a good free speech. I completely agree, and that's like the exception to free speech, which is again is in the First Amendment. Like any hate speech, any derogatory, like any speech that damages anyone is not good. But if um, if someone says something that maybe isn't super popular, I think it's just something that can be debated. Letting them be respectable is how they came to power before in Germany. Um, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want to give Nazis a podium, or like I wouldn't want to promote what they're saying, but I think that they're free to assemble, just like anyone else, as long as they follow like the no hate speech, no slander, that kind of thing, which is tough because Nazis, generally their whole group is based off of hate. So they, you know, I think they should be able to assemble. I believe in free speech for everyone. I think. Mm. Yeah, it is getting deep. Should probably comment. I was not expecting this either. Yeah, it is very different. I agree, Joe. It's that was kind of just an example, but I like that statement you just said would not be okay. Absolutely not. Oh no, he took my worker. I don't have anyone around either. That's not good. That's not good at all. I might have to buy one. I have enough gold. Slinger. Did Great Library get taken? Wait. Oh, that one's doing Great Library. Never mind. Production. Settler? Let's do a library here. Mm. Have a good night, Mantis. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking. Um, Deep convos are important. I love deep conversations. I like small talk. I like talking about sports. I like talking about video games. I like talking about a lot of things. But once, being able to like just sit down with someone or a couple people and get to the issues, I love it. Yeah, it's lighten it up. I agree. Let's try to focus on this game for a bit before I get off. I might get off like 10 minutes or so. So, um, yeah, all you guys stop by. Thanks a lot. I would love to do more of these. Maybe before I like stop the stream, I can open it up if you have video requests, um, ideas for videos, or just like or anything that you would want to say that I could use on my channel for another point in time. Um, I like to keep it interactive and make content that people like. So. Let's get some sheep. Heal up. I forgot those guys are ranged. Let's kill this guy. My worker back. Watermill. This kind of reminds me a little bit of my favorite game as a kid, which was Zoo Tycoon. I don't think I played Zoo Tycoon, but I definitely played Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I can imagine what it would be like, that kind of, top-down viewpoint, and you build everything. And yeah, I remember the Tycoon games, and I used to love Roller Coaster Tycoon. Let's attack this guy again. But you should definitely try this game out. It's super fun. Actually, I can look right now. Actually, see how much it is on Steam. It can't be that expensive. It's older. There's a Civ 6, but Civ 6 isn't that good. I haven't even bought it. It's $30. Wow, that's more than I expected. Civ 6 is not, from what I heard, it's not as good, and I don't want to buy it. Go into first person as well and clean up animal poop. Oh, and Zoo Tycoon. I thought you were talking about this game. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds like a fun time, cleaning up the poop. I'd love to just have one area in the zoo and just put 10 lions and 10 zebras or something, and just see what happens. Or I don't know if you could do that. That'd be pretty cool or funny. Or put a bunch of monkeys with some penguins and just see what happens there. Classical era. All right, so made into the classical era. I think that's probably a good place to end it. Best part was breeding killer penguins in the DNA lab. They'd kill everything in sight. That sounds amazing. They should redo that game so I can do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna end it there. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Some pretty intense discussions going on. I hope everyone has a good night. I might do an ASMR stream at some point, or maybe just keep doing gaming. I play lots of different games, so yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. If I can get this open.